Now, this is becoming a complete disaster. According to the Free Press Journal and some other media outlets, they have reported that Houthis have just arrived in Syria with 100 to 200,000 fighters with them. The Houthis in the resistance axis has been limited to direct UAV and missile attacks on Israeli targets in the past. Means they were not really coming to Israel or to Lebanon or Syria in the past. It was all UAV and limited missile attacks on Israeli targets, especially in the south of the country. The most significant was the Houthi drone attack on Tel Aviv, if you do not know, on July 19th, 2024. So that's the furthest or deepest they have reached when it comes to the state of Israel. But so far, they were just using some drones and missiles. They are more prepared. They held military exercises simulating infiltration through tunnels, taking control of Israeli military bases, and abducting soldiers, according to reports. Houthi fighters have arrived in Syria and are overseen by the pro-Iranian militias. This is absolutely a disastrous news because right now, remember, Israel is already fighting Hezbollah. They are also fighting Hamas. They cannot win. And recently they have actually made a statement saying that we're going to focus more on Hezbollah. We're going to pivot to Hezbollah than on Hamas. And now they have a new headache. In ITIC assessment, the Houthis do in fact aspire to carry out a ground attack partially as a response to Israel's attack on Al-Hudaydah. Collaboration with Iran and the other quote-unquote resistance partners led by the militias in Iraq and Hezbollah in Lebanon. They are going to be, in other words, collaborating with other entities, the proxy Iran has in the region. So they are not going to be fighting all by themselves. They're not going to be, in other words, making any mistake. They want to work as a team. Now, U.S., listen to this guy, what he has to say. So, U.S. haunted by ghost of Houthis. Ambassador, this is what the ambassador you can see right here behind me. He made actually desperate appeal at UN. Let's see what he has to say about the Houthis.
The Houthis' continued attacks against ships in the Red Sea and surrounding waterways also continue to threaten regional peace and security, as well as international navigational freedoms. These continued unjustified actions have already resulted in the tragic deaths of innocent mariners and continue to threaten the lives of member states' citizens and interests of the international community.
Okay, shame on you. Shame on you, this ambassador at UN talking about losing innocent life. Yeah, we all condemn that. Nobody here wants any innocent people to die, regardless where he is from. Israel doesn't matter. We do not want innocent people to lose their life. But then this ambassador, they failed to condemn Israel for the genocide. This is why I find this absolutely disgusting. Listen to any U.S. representative talking about especially Gaza. So in the Gaza Strip, now I'm going to be playing another video in a second. That way you will know what is happening. But let me share this news with you. In the Gaza Strip, Abdul Malik al-Houthi said that the Houthis coordinated fully with their allies, quote unquote, and were prepared to send soldiers to the battlefield or attack Israel with missiles, UAVs, and other means. This was reported on Al-Manar, October 10th, 2023. So you can imagine they had been waiting for this for a very long time. On October 19, 2023, the Houthis began attacking Israel from Yemen with cruise missiles and UAVs, mainly focusing the Eilat region and southern Israel in general. And I have actually reported on this in the past. Later they claimed responsibility for ballistic missile attacks and attacking targets in various areas of Israel, jointly with the Islamic resistance in Iraq. So again, they had planned for a very long time to attack Israel in collaboration with other entities in the region. This is why you see, this guy is becoming very much desperate right now. Let's see what he has to say about the Houthis, and he warned Houthis in the past.
We've been clear with more than 20 other countries that if this continues, as it did yesterday, there will be consequences. And I'm going to leave it at that.
And you also talked about the Iranians being behind this, that they've been supporting the Houthis. Do the consequences extend to the Iranians as well?
Again, all I can tell you is that, as we've made clear, and many other countries made clear, there'll be consequences for the Houthis' actions. We've also...
Okay, so he was asked about, what about Iran? You talk about consequences for Houthis, what about Iran? He dodged the question. He did not. He was evasive in that regard. So this is what Blinken is saying. Now, obviously, they're toning it down a little bit. I actually made a video the other day, and I said that Blinken right now is like, oh, we want to calm down the situation in the Red Sea because they cannot win against Houthis. They know it. In the assessment of Yemeni and other sources, the Houthis have a force between 100,000 and 200,000 fighters, including an air force, a navy, and missile forces. So they are not like your random military. They have a complete military with navy, with air force, and missile forces. This is something you're dealing with very, very substantial. The Zionism is going to collapse. The Zionists, they're falling apart. Now they have to deal with another military that is as strong as 200,000 fighter. Well, obviously, a lot of people may find this number a bit inflated, but I believe this because most of the people in Yemen, they are now poor, very, very poor. And we know they had this famine going on. They're starving. So the young generation in Yemen really doesn't have any job. They're unemployed mostly, right? And so what they do, they join the military. They join Houthis and they fight and they gain a lot of wealth. An exercise held on January 13 of this year, 2024, simulated attacking Israeli targets from the air and on the ground and taking over an Israeli community and an Israeli military headquarters, including taking hostages. So yeah, what Hamas did, what had become a nightmare for the Western countries, is exactly what Houthis are planning to do, which is taking hostages. So Kamala Harris, if you win the election, you now have to deal with Houthis. Hey, bring the hostages back. I care about that. On March 9, 2024, a combined exercise of armored artillery and infantry forces was held, which the Houthis claimed was intended to prepare the forces for the war of victory and holy jihad. So they are making it absolutely religious. The Houthis, they're not going to be backing down anytime soon. And we do not know. Can the Houthis start World War III? I think that is a possibility now. Why? Because they are becoming a major threat. And the most dangerous part of it, they don't care. They are not afraid of anybody because their family, they're dying, they're starving. So yeah, they don't care. Now, of course, they do not spare anybody. Not US, not Russia, not nobody. And we have seen this report. Take a look at what this lady is saying. She is begging Houthis, please, return our people.
Heavy heart for their immediate and unconditional release.
In Yemen,
We appeal again with a
the United Nations under siege in Yemen.
We appeal again with a heavy heart for their immediate and unconditional release.
In early June, 13...
Okay, so again, this is the person from United Nations. She is begging Houthis in Yemen to return the captives. And this happened a few months ago. But again, shows, the point here is that it shows how ruthless Houthis have become and how the world is groveling towards them. Can you imagine Blinken recently saying, we didn't need to tone it down and calm situation with Houthis? He mentioned that, even though a lot of people have their own reservations about this comment from Anthony Blinken, but I do believe that they're at a breaking point. Recently, they have returned their USS Theodore warship from the Mediterranean. Why? Because they know Houthis can attack them, missile attack, and Iran can attack them. Hezbollah can attack them. Theodore Roosevelt, that the USS warship was removed from the Mediterranean. So again, guys, this is a new and big challenge. I think for the Zionist Israel, dealing with Houthis will be much harder than dealing with Hezbollah. Why? Because they know where Hezbollah is. They're in Lebanon. They're in northern Lebanon. But for Houthis, they're in Yemen. They're too far away. And Houthis, they're so mobile in terms of their military and their fighters that you will find it very difficult, if not impossible, to target them, to pinpoint where they are. But guys, obviously this was inevitable. We are now going to be seeing more escalation in the Middle East. We're going to be seeing more war, more bloodshed, and thanks to just one man and one man only, and that is Netanyahu, for allowing this to happen. We did not need this kind of world that we're living in today. But for one crazy, lunatic, genocidal maniac, now we're seeing more bloodshed, just like what the Hitler did, right? Well, this is getting just so much out of control. I have some comment here. Sister Aliyah, Jean, thank you guys for your comment. I'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day.